Yay! Welcome, everyone. This is Benny, and I'm so excited to be here tonight with a few of my friends who have also been on a bit of a health journey lately. So I have with me tonight Beth, Trent, and Leslie. And we're going to be sharing tonight a little bit more about our health journeys and what we've been up to. But first, I want to kind of hear from everyone else because for me, health is a journey. So I just want to hear some of the things that people are dealing with. So what kind of things, are people dealing with? I have a little screen here. We can look at them. Are you dealing with pain, maybe gut health, digestion, focus, mood, energy, autoimmune disease, food allergies, weight loss? Like, what are some of the things that we're dealing with? So I'll just share a little bit about what I've been dealing with and a little bit more about who I am. And so as I was saying, my name is Benny. I'm a mom, I'm an entrepreneur, and I also just turned 40 in March. And one of the things that I've been struggling with the most and was my health goal last year was energy. So I want to hear from you guys. Anybody else out there sometimes feel a little depleted or exhausted, but depleted would be the word that I would use to describe myself previous to a few months ago. So I was dealing with just a lot of energy challenges. Also, I had hip pain and I was dealing with plantar fasciitis on and off for about 7 years. So I'm just going to share a little bit about what kind of changed for me. I was introduced to this bottle right here, and this is called Glow. It is a liquid collagen. And I took this for 2 weeks. And after 2 weeks, I saw more relief from my hip pain and my plantar fasciitis, as well as tendonitis in my arm than I had in years of trying to deal with it. So that really caught my attention, and I started to be open to exploring some other supplements. So the products that we're going to talk about tonight are from a company called Ternant. And I'm going to share just a little bit about the company and a little bit about why we need supplementation and why we can't just get it from our spinach and food and fresh air. So it took me a few weeks to even pronounce the word Ternant. And Ternant actually means to change life with stealth. It's an old French military word. And that is exactly what I have noticed, and we're going to share tonight about what these products have done, is they have changed the quality of my life in a short amount of time. So they're what we call impact products. So one of the things that I want to just share first is the quality of the products. So we have something called a transparency promise that we'll pull up for you guys. And this means that all of our products are gluten-free. There are no parabens, there's no artificial colors or flavors. Here's the transparency promise here. The other thing that is unique is that they are all GMP certified. So that means that they are good manufacturing practice. So they are a very high quality and standard of supplements. And third-party testing. The other thing that is unique is we have a scientific advisory board, which is our next slide. And this is a whole bunch of doctors and scientists who are the best of the best in their field. And they have come up with some truly unique products. And that's one of the things that I really love about them is they're the best of the best, whether it's the collagen, whether it's the digestive enzymes, even the face cream is just the cream of the crop from what I have experienced. So that's just a little bit about the products that we're going to be talking about tonight. The next thing I just briefly want to talk about is, why do we need supplementation? So I know for myself, I eat pretty good. I actually move my body pretty regularly. and I, try and live a really good life, and I was still exhausted. So, one of the things that I started researching after I was having results from taking these products is, why are they working? And why is it that I need supplements to feel amazing? So there's a few things. Number one, we are probably the most stressed and sick generation that has ever lived. We are more stressed. We take on more work. We take on more everything. Not to mention, we've all just lived through 2 years of a pandemic. So health is just so important to all of us. But also the soil quality is not the same. So I actually grew up on a farm. I'm a farm girl at heart. And I'm telling you that tomato or the cob of corn that was coming out of my garden is not the same as in the grocery store. It's also not the same peach or orange that your grandma ate 50 or 60 years ago. So the statistic I've heard is today you would have to eat about 8 oranges to get the same amount of vitamin C that you would from an orange 50, 60 years ago. And that makes a lot of sense to me, because what I noticed when I started taking the products was my body started to respond. My hair started to grow. My nails started to grow. I started to have this energy. The other thing that is unique about these particular supplements is that everything except our collagen, which is grass-fed bovine, is what we call whole food plant-based supplements. So that means they're not synthetic. So I'm not sure about you guys, but if you're kind of like, what is a synthetic vitamin? I was a little bit unclear. So I'm just going to give you a tidbit of information. So any of you guys here ever have these in your cupboard? Okay, embarrassingly, I found about 3 bottles kicking around. I'm in the middle of a bathroom reno right now. And I was like, my goodness, I just kept buying them when we're sick. So this is a synthetic vitamin. It's what we find in the grocery stores. And 95% of the supplements on the market are synthetic, which means they're lab derived, and your body is not going to recognize them and be able to absorb the nutrients. So really quick demo here is, let's just read a label. It says vitamin C, and then underneath it, it says ascorbic acid and sodium ascorbate. So that there is a synthetic vitamin. And even these vitamins I have here that came from a natural store, when I looked and did further investigation, the vitamin C in here is ascorbic acid. So just compared to, we have an antioxidant blend in here, and this has vitamin C. And when we read the label, it says that it comes from acerola cherry. So it's actually coming from the whole food. So one of the things I didn't realize is synthetic vitamins can actually wreak more havoc than good, and we don't respond to them as well. So that's just a little tidbit about, reading a supplement, why we need supplements. And I'm sitting here today with Beth, Trent, and Leslie. And I know all of us have noticed in the past few months since we've started taking some of these products that we feel really, really good. In fact, we were together this weekend at a health show, and when I'm around Leslie, like, her vibration is just crazy. I see Trent all the time, and I had not seen Beth in person in a few months. And you guys, when I saw Beth, she was like a spring chicken, and it was like I was looking at her 10 years younger. And I've heard that from a few of my friends who are taking some of the supplements, is I feel younger. I feel like I have more vitality and energy. So what we're here tonight to talk about is our favorite products. There is something for everyone, and everyone's body responds a bit differently, but we're just going to talk about a few of our favorites. The first one we're going to talk about is our Enrich, and that is a digestive enzyme. And this has changed so many people's lives. I had never really heard of digestive enzymes before. So I'm going to do a little science experiment for you guys so you can see how it works. And then Trent's going to share a little bit about what he experienced once he started taking these. So these, you take about 1 to 2 before you eat a meal. There's a few reasons why we need digestive enzymes. As we get older, we produce less digestive enzymes to be able to process our food. Now, if you've had an unhealthy lifestyle or maybe genetics, sometimes people have less already. So this here is a processed pudding, but we're going to do a demo on it. You can see it's like very thick, right? So the digestive enzymes, you're going to see how they work here. They're going to break down your cooked and processed food so that you're not going to feel bloated, that you're going to be able to digest your food, absorb the nutrients, as well as get rid of all the food. So I'm going to do a little demo here, and I'm going to put 2 capsules, just tilt my screen, and I'm going to stir it so you guys can see. And then Trent, do you want to share a little bit about what you noticed when you started taking these?
I'd love to. Thanks, Benny. I'm Trent. Obviously, I know Benny very well. We're quite close. And so once I was introduced to these enzymes, I was a little bit skeptical, but I started taking them. And just a little background, I've had heartburn almost daily for years and years and years. If I eat tomato sauce, it burns. If I eat hamburger, it burns. Tacos, all my favorite foods. I started taking these enzymes, and I'd say, what do you say, Benny, about maybe 2 weeks in, I noticed that I just had no heartburn anymore, and it was amazing. And Benny even commented, she's like, babe, it's like you haven't had heartburn in like a couple of weeks. Like, what's going on? And then on top of that, without changing anything in my diet or my exercise routine, I like to get to the gym and stuff like that. But I'm down about 8 pounds within 2 weeks, which is amazing. So, and I know I'm not the only one that's had great results with this. So I don't know if anybody else wants to share what they've got going on.
I can talk about my experience. So for me, pretty much my entire adult life, I haven't been super regular, and more on the anyways, for me, the idea that people could poop every day was like weird. I was like, that's too much. That's not a thing. That has to be fake. Like, that's not possible. And so I'll make a really long story short. I am now one of those people. So I can put on my Facebook, I'm a #poop-a-day person. And way less bloating. If you're a person like me, you know exactly what that would be like to all of a sudden be very regular and feel completely not bloated, and just you feel light afterwards, right? Like you feel like the food that you've had is processed and sort of, the way that it's supposed to be. But I think we just get so used to doing it the way we've been doing it that we don't really think there's a better way. And I was so blown away. I can't be without them. Like, I'm just like, I have them in my purse. I have them in my backpack to take to school just in case. I have some in the car because sometimes you run out. Yeah. So I'm like, I think we're all in that boat.
And just before Beth shares, I'm going to show you guys exactly what Leslie's talking about. So this is going to process your food. And I'm similar to Leslie, except for me, it's when I travel that I have trouble with being regular. So let's just see science experiment. You guys, this was just in a few minutes. So look at that.
Okay, well, baby, you're going to take it.
Oh, you can. Okay. Oh, being a mom, it's all good. You're on mute. So that is essentially what the Enrich does. Beth, do you want to share a little bit about your experience?
I will. My experience is kind of the opposite to what Leslie has had. I have fibromyalgia, and one of the things that often comes with fibromyalgia is irritable bowel. And I would usually have an episode at least every 1 to 2 weeks where I literally didn't want to be that far away from the bathroom for 12 to 24 hours. And that's not really terribly convenient when you're trying to live your life. I've had times when I've been, out and about and had to go running around trying to find a washroom, and it's just not that fun. Since I started taking the Enrich, and it's been about 5.5 months, I have had one episode and it lasted an hour, and that's it. So that's a dramatic change for me. And wow, I'm just like, wow, that's all I can say.
That is amazing. So the other thing that this can really help with is, as I was mentioning, if you go traveling. So I've had a few friends go to Mexico and take this. The other little trick that we've learned is if you have a tummy ache. So for example, the other night, I'm not proud of it, but I had an ice cream dinner, like one of those little Haagen-Dazs of ice cream. And I had a tummy ache. It was very uncomfortable. And I took one of these and I poured it over my tongue and I had instant relief. The other one as well was my son had a tummy ache the other day, and I mixed one of these up in juice and he bounded out of his bedroom about 10 minutes later and was ready to go. So, and it almost, when you put it on your tongue, it almost tastes a little sweet. So it's all plant-based. So that is a little bit about our digestive enzyme. The next one I'm going to talk about is the one that is why I'm sitting here, and that is our liquid collagen. So our collagen is a liquid. Before this, I was actually taking a powdered collagen, and something I did not realize is that a powdered collagen, you're only going to absorb about 10 to 20%. Whereas a good high quality liquid collagen, you're going to absorb, this one here is up to 90% absorption. So a few things that make this one unique. It actually has 7 patents, and it has 11 grams of collagen peptides. So peptides are the ones that are the smallest molecule. So you're really going to absorb that into your system, as well as it has 10 grams of protein. So you can tell the quality of a collagen by looking at the ingredients as well as the protein. And then it also has, it's called Glow. So it has some beauty aspects. So the first thing I noticed with the collagen within a couple weeks was the pain in my feet and my arms and my hip dramatically decreased. And then it has been about 4 months taking the Glow regularly, and I literally feel like I'm glowing. So we'll pull up a few photos here. These are my results from the collagen. The hair, sorry, the dates aren't there, but this was at the end of the summer. And then the hair there was back in October. You can see my nails were healthy, and I have not had healthy nails in a long time. And then I actually had a breast reduction 2 years ago. So I had a scar that was there for a very long time, and it noticeably started to fade. The other thing was I had a cookie burn right here, and it started to fade after a couple of weeks. But mostly what I've felt is in my hips and my feet have just been a huge relief. So I know a lot of people absolutely love this collagen. Do you want to just go back? Sorry, we forgot to share the enriched photos really quick, Trent. Oh, here's some more Glow ones. So these are just some photos of people who are taking the enrich. Trent was sharing that he was down about 10 pounds. And this is one of our friends here. Do you want to go back to the collagen? So this is our friend Lori, and she did something called collagen loading. So she took 3 doses for a month to help with her gut health. And she noticed a huge difference in her cellulite. And then Leslie, who's on tonight, who will share a little bit later, she called me up after a month of taking the collagen, and she noticed that her varicose veins were significantly decreased. So there are just some amazing results. And once again, these are the results on the outside, but can you imagine what it's doing on the inside? So I always tell everyone, when you get your bottles of collagen, make sure you take pictures of everything. Leslie, do you want to share a little bit about your experience taking the glow?
Yes, and thank you for indulging me. I thought I was muted. So for me, I started taking the glow. It was actually kind of a tough time for me, and I was, just going through some stuff. So I was just not doing anything. I wasn't eating very well. I wasn't doing anything else, really not doing anything. But taking my glow every night before bed, brush my teeth, get into bed, wake up, And so I had taken all these before pictures, and I really only took pictures of my legs because I thought for cellulite, because my brain always thought skin, hair, nails, that's what collagen is for. And in the end, when I went to take the after picture after a month, I thought, okay, I'm going to take pictures, see what's happened. I think I told you, Benny, this, that I was standing in my bathroom and I was like, I thought it was this leg, and what angle was I at? Like, I couldn't figure out if it was the right leg. And then I noticed that same freckle that's on each leg in the picture. And I was like, oh, it's the same leg. And I just was like, I just started to cry because I was like, just really needing a win. So yeah, for me, the collagen's been huge. Like that, I've got pictures of my nails are growing like crazy. My hair is growing like crazy. I didn't think I had bags under my eyes until I saw the month after picture. And I just have, tons of energy. I feel really just blessed to have found it. I keep bumping into people who are like, oh my God, you're glowing. And I'm like, I know, literally, I'm glowing. So it's just really funny. But yeah, that's my experience. I can't stop telling everybody about it. But yeah, as soon as I saw that, I was like, this is something that is helping so much. I had knee pain that it's gone now. I had lower back pain that's gone now. Like you said, there's things that you don't think about until later. And then you're like, oh, I wish I had a picture of that. But yeah, it's been pretty amazing.
So awesome. Yeah, I was on with a friend last night who's taking the glow. And after the call, she sent me a picture and one of her scars had disappeared. Usually people really start to see the results after about 4 to 6 weeks on the glow. So I know for me, once that happened, I was never going to run out of this again. The next one we're going to talk about is our Optimize. And this one I have just gotten in because of some people in my life sharing how amazing it is. And this one here is a proteolytic enzyme that acts like a Pac-Man. Everybody know Pac-Man from back in the 80s, on the rogue protein and inflammation in your body. So it was actually developed for athletes to get them back on the field quicker. But guess what? That's also going to work for an injury, a surgery, any, thing like that we have going on. We were standing all weekend, so I actually took this preventatively on the weekend. I've also heard it's really great to take if you're fighting off a virus, or a headache, or even a hangover. So it has turmeric in it, so all natural, it's safe. So a lot of people, if they're experiencing pain, will be popping painkillers every day, which wreaks havoc on our gut and is not good for our bodies. But this you can actually take daily, as it is whole plant-based foods. And I'm going to get Beth to share a little bit more about her experience with the Optimize, as well as her experience with the collagen.
Thanks, Benny. So I mentioned earlier that I have fibromyalgia. I've had it since I was in my 20s. I've also got osteoarthritis, and I'm at a point now where I'm on the waiting list to get my left knee replaced. And because I'm basically functioning bone on that knee, and my right knee is not that far behind. So I'm going to tell you about 6 months ago, I was in a really bad state. I was low energy, exhausted, and constantly in pain. I had one day, which was one of my real low points, where I went outside to do gardening and had to put the recycling out. So I walked the recycling down to the end of the driveway, had to do 3 trips up and down the driveway. By the time I finished doing that, I was in so much pain and so exhausted, I had to go inside and sit down. And, here's the thing, you don't realize how much that affects you until that energy level and everything is taken away. I was sitting there that day thinking, I don't know how I'm going to survive this. I am at that point 57 years old, and I can't go out and hang out with my grandkids without having to find somewhere to sit. I can't take my dogs for a walk. I can't even take the recycling down and then garden because I don't have the energy to do both. And I can't handle the pain of doing that. And it wasn't that much longer after that, that Benny told me about this product. And I thought, well, I'm going to find it. I'm going to try it. And I started with Glow, and at the same time as that, I started with Glow, the person from Trinot that I was talking to also recommended that I try Optimize. So I used Glow, Optimize, and Enrich. And within a week, I noticed I wasn't as stiff. I could walk. My daughter noticed that I was walking like a normal person instead of that stiff-legged walk you do when your knees are arthritic. And I cannot say enough good things about it. Now, one of the other really interesting things about Optimize, I don't take it every day now because I don't find that I need it. But this morning, for example, I think I must have slept funny when I was a weird position. I don't know. But when I woke up this morning, my left knee was really sore, and I could feel the inflammation and the warmth around the knee, around the area where the arthritis is. And I'm like, oh, that is not a good thing. So this morning I wake up and I'm trying to move, and it was hurting to walk on it and everything. And I went and I sat down to have my, to have something in the morning. And I thought, I'm going to take some Optimize first. So I took 2 of these. Within an hour, the knee pain was gone. And that to me was huge. It also has turmeric in it, which is natural anti-inflammatory. And I can't take things like, the NSAIDs, the Aleve, the ibuprofen, the aspirin, because they irritate my stomach. This doesn't do that. So I can't say enough good things about how well this works.
So amazing. And I have another friend on the East Coast, and she is taking the Optimize. I think she's on the list for a knee replacement. So really good. I know healthcare in Canada, we're behind on a lot of surgeries and knee replacements and hip replacements. So it can be a really amazing way that we can have a great quality of life. So, we never say that we are here to cure, treat, diagnose anything, but we are just here sharing our experiences with some amazing products that we've just fallen in love with. So the last ones we're going to talk about, we could go on all day about new products that we're trying. The latest one for me was the Replenish, which is a blend of 7 different kinds of mushrooms. It's a tea. You can take it before bed. Lots of different things for anything that you are dealing with in your health, because health is a journey and there's always that next level. The last 2 I want to talk about are the Renew, which is a high potency vitamin E, and also our Rejuvenate skin cream. So this one here, as I was saying, this is vitamin E, and it is really good. It is a antioxidant complex. So it is really good for reversing aging. Who doesn't want that? But also for women's health. So hormone health. I've heard it's really good for hot flashes. That's not something I'm dealing with quite yet. However, my hormones have been a little bit all over the place, and I'm hoping this is going to help. So I've just started taking this one.
I have noticed I have not had as many hot flashes since I started using Renew. So I think it is helping.
Amazing. I've also heard it's really good for balancing blood sugars, helping decrease cholesterol levels. And the doctor that came up with this, and it does come from a plant in the Amazon. His name is Dr. Barry Tan. So if you look up Dr. Barry Tan, The Truth About Vitamin E, this book is all about the health benefits of vitamin E. I just got it in the mail, so I'm reading up on it. And that's one of the things that I'm loving, is that I'm getting to take on my health and learn new things all the time. and this is just the beginning. So the last one I'm going to talk about is the Rejuvenate. And this is a skin cream. So I know once I approached the age of 40, I started to think, oh my gosh, I need some skincare. So I had a whole bunch of bottles. Most of them were these multi-step systems that were just way too complicated, or I wasn't consistent. I didn't notice any difference. Beth, who is with us tonight, sent me her before and after picture, which Trent, do you want to just pull that up for a second? So Beth sent me this picture of her a month after using the skin cream. This was not even on my radar. I was one of those people that was like, use up the bottle you have. She sent me this picture and I ordered it that day. And then you'll see here, I forgot to take my before and after pictures, but you can see that my skin has quite noticeably changed. I've even noticed the pores on my face. I have really big nose pores and they have gotten smaller and it's really decreased a lot of redness. So they call this liquid Botox or Spanx for your face, and you can really show it right away. So I'm just going to show you how it works because I know when my mom got this, I gave it to her for her birthday. So you just do a little pump like that. And I'm going to put some on my hand, but you can feel it. It absorbs, it's light. It is beautiful. And I also had a rash the other day and Trent was actually at the house and I was like, you know what, let's do an experiment. I'm going to put this on 3 times a day and see what happens. And it went away. Like I scratched myself and normally I have skin that shows things for a very long time and we were going to a Christmas party. So I didn't want it on my arm. So it went away in less than 24 hours using this. Beth, do you want to, I like every time you come on screen, I'm like, you look amazing. You look so good. Do you want to just share kind of what happened at lunch the other day?
At lunch, I'm trying to remember.
I think your friend was like, you look amazing.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, that was at dinner. I had a friend of mine who hadn't seen me in a little while, and my husband's birthday, we got together with them for dinner, and she had seen my photograph that I had posted on the internet, the one that Benny just showed. And so this was about a month after that now. And she walked in, she took one look at me and was like, oh my God, you look so amazing and so much younger. How do I get this? Basically ordered it the next day. It, you know, and it really does. It's made such a difference in, well, the whole product line has made a huge difference in how I feel, but it has made a great difference in how I look. I know that I do not look like a person who has a grandson about to turn 10 years old, but I do. So, and yeah, I'm 58 years old and I know I don't look it anymore. So.
Amazing. And what a good compliment when you start seeing people. I know I've had people reach out to me. I'm not wearing makeup. I love wearing lipstick because it goes with my outfits and it's part of my personality. But I just love, sometimes I still catch myself looking in my reflection in the mirror about my hair or my skin is glowing. So, you know, we want to age and be sassy all the way. So this one is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Beth, for introducing me to that and the Optimize. And that's what I just love about being part of this community. So I want to just hear from those of you who are watching. We went over a lot. We talked about that digestive enzyme called Enrich. We talked about the collagen, the glow. We talked about the Optimize. We talked about the Renew and the Rejuvenate. So which one of all of those are really jumping out at you? And oh my gosh, I just realized we did not talk about Mojo. Okay, we're going to talk about Mojo. So this
Trent and I both were like, oh my God, the Mojo. Don't forget the Mojo.
Oh my goodness. Were you guys commenting on that? How did I not forget about
in the chat?
So the Mojo is, you know, I was thinking about it because I was like, my top 3 products. Wait, we forgot to talk about one. That is the Mojo. It is a nootropic or nootropic, I call it, drink. So when I was sharing with my friend about the collagen, she went on the website and she looked up the products and she was like, oh my gosh, they have a nootropic line. And I was like, I don't even know what that is. So if you've never heard of it, there it is, the Mojo and the Zest. It is in our Stamina line. And it is the precursor to all those happy hormones, and it fires up your brain. So I know for myself, my friend was sharing with me and she was like, oh my gosh, the Mojo is amazing. I am a happier mom. I don't yell at my kids as much. It is like a hug in a mug. And I was like, really? I'm not sure. I love my coffee in the morning. Trent knows how much I love my coffee in the morning. And though it was not agreeing with my gut. So we all know the gut brain axis, really been helping using the Enrich. However, I decided to try the Mojo. The first time I tried this, I cleaned my office for the first time in about 2 years. But what I have noticed now that I've replaced my coffee, so I have one of these in the morning, is that I have way more energy, sustained energy throughout the day. So the other thing I've noticed is I'm someone who is a worrier. One might say anxiety, depression in the winter. And I have noticed that my mood in general has gone from sort of like a low to more like a medium high, usually most of the time. In fact, in the beginning, Trent would say, did you just have a Mojo? And I would say, yes, I did. Yes, I did. So this has really helped my mood and energy level. And as I was saying, the word I would have described myself 4 or 5 months ago was depleted. And I can say that I just feel like I did probably, I was saying 10 years ago, but I feel like 10 years ago, I was still pretty exhausted all the time. So I just find after I put Mav to bed, I have way more energy than I used to. That is my experience on the Mojo. There's also a Zest, which is sort of like a Gatorade lemon tea or lemonade. And I know Trent was really sick a couple weeks ago. He doesn't get sick very often. And he was having the Zest and he was still able to work from home. He was going for walks and hikes still. So it really does give you some energy and lots of things. Anybody else want to share their experience with Mojo? There's also a chocolate.
I took the Mojo chocolate on the weekend and I have been kind of having it off and on, but I took it as the only drink I had on Saturday and then on Sunday while we were at the health show. And I was really quite impressed with how much energy I had through that whole weekend, because I figured I was going to be exhausted through that weekend because that's a lot for me at this point. And I was not exhausted. My mood was up, my energy was up, and I'm like, yeah, you know what? I don't think I need coffee anymore. I'm just going to have this.
I've been doing the same thing. I've been doing every morning. I get up and I have just Mojo. And I've been doing intermittent fasting. So I don't eat until 11 or 12 and I just do Mojo at like 6:30 in the morning. And what I've been saying to people, so it's really interesting because the energy you get is just not the same as what you would have got with coffee. And in fact, like now that I've had Mojo, I'm like, did I get energy from coffee? Because it just feels like I didn't. Like when you're looking back at it, it's like, it wasn't really that energy. What I have now is like a lot more natural feeling. It feels like my natural energy is just being enhanced. And I'm an energetic, happy, excited person. So it's really just kind of that full turned up, the volume of my own energy just turned up. So I get like, I'm energetic, but I'm also a lot happier. And so, yeah, like Benny was saying, you just have a sustained amount of energy. I used to crash at like 3 or 4 in the afternoon. Not super helpful when I have 3 people to feed and put to bed. But now I crash kind of like 8:30 or 9 at night. I'm really tired. I'm like, that's great because I've actually used all that energy all day. And now I'm taking my Mojo or take my Glow and go to bed. And then I can get up and start my day. We're early around here. So 5:30 is our uptime. But yeah.
And when we say high impact products, I gave a sample of Mojo to one of my friends the other day, and we were actually talking at night and she was like, we were just saying how exhausted we are all the time. And I gave her a Mojo sample and she was like, I could not believe the difference it made. I also left some Mojo up island after Christmas by accident at my parents' house. And my mom called me and she's like, hey, you left the Mojo. And I actually took it before swimming today. And I noticed such a difference in my energy. So super great for energy. And it comes in all sorts of different flavors. So those are the nootropics. So sorry, we almost forgot that one, but we want to hear from you. Out of all the products we talked about tonight, which one is just jumping out at you? I know for me, the 3 products that have absolutely changed my life and my health are the collagen, the Mojo, and the Enrich. And that's what I love is before I was taking these products, I was actually on like a whole bucket of tinctures and supplements. And I'm going to be honest, I didn't feel much of a difference. So those are the products that we are going to talk about tonight. And then we also just wanted to share a little bit about the business side of the company. So there's a few different ways to get the products. So if you are like, oh my gosh, I cannot wait to try these, reach out to, whoever you're watching this with, and they can help you out. However, if you were watching this and you thought of one other person, like you were like, oh my goodness, my husband needs to try the Enrich, or my sister needs to try the collagen. That's what I was like. You can't unsee something or unhear something. So when I heard about the digestive enzymes, I was like, hey, Trent, I think these might help your heartburn. Would you be willing to give it a try? Because he had heartburn every single night. And here's the thing is the people in your life might notice before you do, because they're the ones who have to listen to you complain about things. Just saying. With my hip, I think he noticed certain things first before I did. So if you're thinking about some other people in your life, I know for me, I couldn't stop sharing. And so there's also a business side of the company. So a few of my favorite things about the business side of this company. Number one is they just officially launched in Canada in August. So this is a huge opportunity. And if you're someone who is savvy in business, I know for me, that was very exciting. So that is one of them. The other thing I love is that you can work with a family member or a spouse. So Trent and I are working businesses together now, and it's so fun that we get to work together, but also that we are both earning a residual income. So I don't know if anybody has checked the price of lettuce in the grocery store lately, but it just keeps going up. Gas prices keep going up, and yet most of us keep making the same amount of money. So multiple revenue streams or having a side income is pretty amazing. One of the other things I love about this is it's an online store. So you just can give people your website when they want to order. So you are an online store. So for example, if you're going to Mexico and you're taking the enzymes with you and you share about that on your trip and 3 people want to order them, and then you have your own website. So that is a little bit how it works. I wanted to get Trent on. Trent is my amazing boyfriend, and we have been together almost a year now. And when we first started dating, we were talking about how can we make some more money. We're both single parents. And so when this came along, I was like, hey, we're both looking to take on our health. Why don't we check this out? So do you want to just share a little bit about your experience?
Yeah, I'd love to. It's been pretty crazy and good. Like as Benny said, single dad for a number of years, and money's always been tight because kids cost money, and gas costs money, and lettuce costs money, and it's all getting more expensive. So I thought, hey, I'll jump on this. For my regular day job, I do drafting, and I make decent money, but things are expensive. So, and I've always been looking for something else. And so we joined up, and my first month in, I hit the first level, which is Jade, which was pretty awesome. And then in December, I got to the second level, which is Opal. And so I got, a little bit of side money, and I was saying to Benny when we kind of first were thinking about how to make more money, maybe $100 a month would be nice. And Benny's like, yeah, let's aim a little higher than that. So long story short, in December, I think I was probably around like $1,400 or $1,500 in income from Turn On. Part of that's with something that we haven't talked about yet is they give you a Jeep stipend if you maintain your levels. So I'm driving a brand new Jeep, and so is Benny actually. So yeah, so it's pretty amazing.
I am so proud of you. And that is another thing that we love about the business is there is a car program, which I will be honest, when I heard there was a car program, I thought to myself, I'm not sure that's something that interests me. But as we were saying in December, Trent and I live about 45 minutes away. There we are with our Jeeps. Look at that. My Jeep, her name is Midnight.
And mine is Black Sunshine.
Black Sunshine. And this is our friend Nicole, who's on the East Coast of Canada, and she has that beautiful white Wrangler. And we just got our logos in the mail, so we'll put those on our cars. So Turn On pays our Jeep payments every month for maintaining that very first level. So the Jeep program is at the very first level. So most companies I've seen, a car program is at the third, fourth, fifth, like very high unmaintainable levels. And, Trent has already hit the second level again this month. And so we decided in December, why not? My car was getting very old, and then Trent was actually in a car accident. He was okay, but his old Jeep was not. And just a little backstory on that. In August, we were on our 6-month anniversary, and his car broke down. And he didn't know how he was going to pay for it. And most weeks we're like, oh my gosh, let's like toss a coin and see who can pay for gas this week, because gas prices have gone up so much, or whose car is not going to break down this week. So here we are driving newer cars. And the other thing I just have to share is the other day, Trent texted me and said, hey babe, you know what I love almost more than you? And I was like, where is this going? A heated steering wheel. So I have never had a heated steering wheel before, or a heated seat. It's pretty amazing. So those are a few of my favorite things about the company, but probably my absolute favorite is this company is set up to have other people win. So I was at a place in my previous company where I was not having people win, and we had 5 people in my very first month of December reach that first level. Beth is one of them. She's doing this, and Leslie is on her way this month. So this is what I love. If there's anything more than, health and people, it's having people win. So that is what I have to say about the business side of the company. And it just makes sense. So I don't know about you, but if there's ever been like a movie that you've really, really loved, or maybe you go to a restaurant and you're like, oh my gosh, their fish tacos are the best. Imagine if you could just hand out your website, and every time they ordered food from that restaurant or went to see that movie, you earned a commission. So it's kind of like that. Beth or Leslie, is there anything you want to share about your experience with the business in just your short amount of time?
Well, first of all, I would say that I had an interesting discussion with my husband when the battery on our second car packed it in, and we're looking at it thinking, this is an 11, 12-year-old car. Do we really want to, keep throwing new batteries at it? And I said, honey, I've already qualified for that Jeep. So if you want, we can investigate that. So we're looking at it. I'm going to be away this week, so we're going to probably look at it when I get back from Mexico in 10 days. But yeah, I have worked with a number of different companies in the direct sales market space, both as a consultant or independent consultant, and also in home offices of some of these companies. And I can share that this company and the compensation plan that they have is one of the better ones I have seen out there. So that's my 2 cents.
Not to
I
mention,
would just,
you're
oh,
winning
go ahead.
very quickly in this company.
Absolutely, because
I
you know
can say-
you are. I mean, I'm very impressed at how well it works, their compensation plan, and the way that and the support that we get from the people, you know, in the company has been phenomenal. So
And Beth was at a place in the fall where she did not
Mhm.
have energy to be doing business. So how awesome is it for me to see you not only winning in your health, but also winning in business? And I've known you a very long time.
yes,
And I am just so thrilled to see you winning. Leslie,
I'm similar to Beth in that I've done different direct sales things before, and I just have never found it to be so easy to talk to people about the products, because for me, it's not, I have photos of actually me. I have a side by side of my face. I have actual physical proof that it has helped me. And I find that to be so compelling. And if someone else, you know, well, Benny, you were that person for me. Like it was like, you know, seeing, look at these. And then, like Beth was saying, the company gives us so much help. There's so much stuff out there. There's events all the time. And so there's just so much support from almost, you know, the very, very top level. You can get that support. There's constant programs to help you develop a system that works for you. Like just things that I found to be difficult with other companies, I'm like, this is not difficult. I mean, people will reach out to you and say, oh my God, like you said, you look amazing, or wow, it looks like you're feeling really good. And you're like, I'm doing this thing. I mean, here's my website, or let's talk about it. It's just conversations, and actually fundamentally helping people brings me so much joy, and it really feels like a service. I think in direct sales, people talk to you a lot about like, oh, you know, you want to voice it as a service, but sometimes you're like, but it feels like people don't need this. And I'm like, oh my God, everyone needs this.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I think people really get that palpable energy.
Yeah. And when you feel that good, you want other people to feel good too. And I've also known Leslie a long time. And, you know, even in November, you were going through a very hard season of life. And yet you were really, you know, taking on your health at the same time by, you know, taking the supplements and nourishing your body. And I have also seen you just this lightness and brightness. And also, you know, it's been so fun, even those last couple of weeks, just, you know, you winning in the business as well. So amazing. And I just love that men can do it. Women can do it. You know, you can do it from anywhere. We have uplines in the US. We have people that live in small towns. One of our mentors is a basketball coach down in the States. We have another mentor who is a full-time teacher. I have another mentor who is a holistic nutritionist. So it's just so fun that everyone can bring whatever aspects to their life into the business. So we just really want to thank you for coming on and taking a listen. And please reach out if you have any questions. So thank you, everyone, and have a good night.